Greetings and salutations, YouTubers. This is ZillaFan85, and I, of course, represent YouTube's bargain basement of the airwaves. I'm back today with my latest video. I know it's been a while. Just videos, like I said, are few and far in between for me. But we are back today. Today, I am reviewing my Bandai Movie Monster Series Giant Condor figure. Oh yes, so that powerhouse of a kaiju himself, the Giant Condor, of course featured in the 1966 film Godzilla vs. the Sea Monster, or Ebirah Horror of the Deep, whichever title you prefer. He had a quick, basically just a quick scene, a very short battle against Godzilla where he didn't put up much of a fight, but and lost pretty quickly. But nonetheless, though, he did win the fan polling for Bandai when they did that round. So they ended up making the figure of him. So I mean, I thought it was cool, and I was glad to get a figure of the Giant Condor. So just something awesome to me to have in my collection, anyways. But essentially, like I said, just as the name suggests, a Giant Condor. I think it's Ukondoru is the Japanese title, the Japanese name. He was irradiated on the island due to the Red Bamboo's nuclear testing. So when he came, of course, a giant creature. So anyways, so nonetheless, though, we're going to go ahead and jump on into it here, folks. We're actually going to start, since this is a Bandai Movie Monster Series figure, we're going to start with the tag or card, whatever you prefer to call it. It's a tag, really. So you got this nice little money shot here of the Giant Condor pictured in the film. So you guys can see, nice little like black and white image. Pretty cool. 2025 when this figure was released. And of course, you got the Japanese kanji and Giant Condor underneath that. So you guys can see the inside of the card, more write up mostly in Japanese, so I can't read it, but nonetheless very cool, and nice little silhouette picture based on that front image there. Of course, you got the Godzilla trademark and what have you, and the back of the card with like the again, like a larger silhouette here of the Giant Condor's wing. You guys can see Bandai Namco, more Japanese, and of course Japanese for Movie Monster Series here, and Godzilla and Bandai logoing. So, and of course your trademark Toho. So, very cool, folks. So, very cool little tag. Glad to have that. Now, as far as the figure goes, not going to be too much really to go into here, but we'll take a look anyway. So I'm going to start with the paint and the detail work. I'll bring this guy in closer. So again, not too much here, but you know, cool for what it is. It definitely gets the job done. So you've got like basically a couple different shadings of brown. So you got this more like pale brown here for like the neck and the head area, the face. As you guys can see, like a tannish brown almost. And more of the same basically for the beak, maybe a little bit of a duller color, but that's just because it's supposed to be a beak and not feathery or hairy. But you guys can see nonetheless. Kind of wish they would have done the beak in like an orangish or yellowish color, but still looks cool for what it is. It's nice and pointy to the touch, nice detail work, and of course you got like some lines and grooves here on the underside of Giant Condor's neck. You guys can see, so that looks pretty good. Of course, like some of the feathery patterning done along the face, and the eyes, just white eyes with black pupils, so pretty simple, but again captures the look fairly well, I think. So very nicely done. Of course, more of the feathery patterning going along the neck, and then of course into the main body itself, where you got the deeper brown, like almost like a reddish brown color. But really nice attention to detail. You can see all the feathery patterning done along the wings here and the top side of the wings. Very nicely done. Then of course on the bottom side as well, really captured well. They did put a lot of nice detail work here to capture these. And then of course on the top side, so it's all of the deeper brown, but on the underside, so it's like the deeper brown, but then it goes into more of that pale tannish brown. as it kind of fades into it on the underside of the wings. So that's nice attention to detail as well. And of course, again, more of that feathery patterning all done throughout. All the lines and grooves and all the feathers etched in. Very, very nicely done, folks. And then, of course, on the underside, well, we've got like the feathers and some of the scaliness as well, like some of like the bird scales and whatnot down along the back, as you guys can see. And then, of course, more of that rougher, feathery, or fluffier, feathery patterning done on like the chest and abdomen area for the giant condor. And it kind of tapers into like where his little bird feet are, essentially. So very, very cool. And the bird feet done more in that tannish, pale tannish brown color scheme with the little etched in talons there, as you guys can see. Fairly sharp to the touch. So definitely captures that detail very, very nicely, I think. And of course, on the underside here, you've got more of the tail feathers here. Pretty smooth, but you do have nice detail work. And of course, you got all your Toho Bandai trademark information there. The camera picks that up for you guys. So very, very nicely done. Then again, on the top, more of the tail feathers and whatnot as well. A little smoother than like the wing and body feathering. But definitely did not skimp on the detail. So, a nice little look-see around on him. And really, as far as paint and detail work, that pretty much covers it. As far as articulation, I mean, you can see where there's like a couple of Lucille areas. I don't mess with those at all. So essentially, there really is nothing. So he is basically a static piece. Just will kind of sit on the shelf like that, or if you've got some kind of stand that you can put him on, stand him up, or maybe make him look like he's in a flying pose, even better. But yeah, no articulation otherwise, so or at all, I should say. But still a cool piece nonetheless. Now, as far as sizing goes, he is on this, even though he's in that Bandai movie monster series, which is like a 6 to 7 inch range sizing scale. He's definitely, they did try to proportion him somewhat, so he is a smaller figure. So with the ruler here first, and just to measure in inches here, so we're going to measure from the tip of the beak here to the end of the tail. Let me turn that around here so as you guys can see. I'll bring the phone up here at the camera. You guys can see right from tip to tip of the beak to the tip of the tail feather. He's right about 4 inches in length there. So very, very cool. Now, as far as like the wingspan goes, so from the full wingspan, actually not too bad a length here. Really looking from tip to tip there, it's about a, I'll try to bring the camera in for you guys to see, but you can pretty much see it's about an 8-inch wingspan, so it's actually not too bad there as far as that goes. Height, you're not really going to measure too much, but if you like looking the way he's standing, he's only up to like the top part of, like the highest part of his back there is probably about 1.5 inches in height. So, I mean, you can see like the size that you're working with. And as a size comparison, the closest version of Godzilla that I've got here, I have the 65 Godzilla, which the Daisenso Goji is the same design for both Godzilla vs. Monster Zero and Godzilla vs. the Sea Monster. However, they did repurpose the face in Godzilla vs. the Sea Monster because they had used it for the Ultraman series, the 65 version, but nonetheless still essentially the same. So I have my YMSF 1965 Godzilla, just so you guys can see what you're working with size-wise here. I'll just kind of hover the camera over. But you guys can see Godzilla definitely does tower over the Giant Condor, but I mean, that's the way it really was supposed to be in the film when they battled each other. The Giant Condor, Godzilla was supposed to be 50 meters tall, during the Showa era, and I think the Giant Condor was only like a 15 or 20 meter long monster or something like that. So the size difference is definitely apparent here, as you guys can tell. But so I think for that aspect of it, they did a really nice job capturing that sizing. So anyway, other than that, that's pretty much it for that. Now, as far as pricing goes, now this is roughly a when it was released, I believe it was roughly a $30 figure. And from what I've seen online, you can actually still get him. I mean, he hasn't been out that long, so you can still kind of get him for basically in that same price range. Though I haven't seen too many U.S. sellers. Mostly you're looking overseas, ordering from Japan and whatnot. But again, though, if you don't mind doing that, you can still get him for that around that MSRP price range of $30. So very, very awesome. But other than that, that pretty much covers it here, folks. Just bringing this tag back in. But that pretty much does wrap up the video here. Again, I don't know when I'll get around to making my next one, so we'll see when we'll see it. But just is what it is for now. But I would like to thank you guys so much for watching. If you would like to subscribe, please feel free to do so. If you would like to like and or comment on any of my videos, please feel free to do so as well. And just remember, until next time, ladies and gentlemen, you be good to yourselves, and sayonara.